especially this year, it's a lot different due to COVID and everything, and then not even getting to meet all the freshmen like we normally would through the camps and everything. And then also, I'm a captain this year, so it's a lot different for me seeing it through that perspective. And yeah, so I'm really excited about all these new things that are kind of changing around a little bit, challenging us a little bit more than what it would be in the past. Getting through some adversity and everything. So yeah, I'm really excited, especially because I know that all those things made us grow more than what we would have in the past seasons. So yeah.
All right, we'll start off with Silas Albright from the Appalachian.
Yeah, I guess kind of going off some of that adversity. Obviously, you qualified for NCAAs last year, and then that couldn't happen because of COVID. Just, I know if I was in your position, I'd be really upset about that. Kind of like there's nothing we can do. Just how hungry does that make you this year, and how ready are you to like get back out there and try to get back to where you were last season?
Yeah, I mean, at first it hit me hard. You know, it was my first time qualifying. It's been what I've been working for years and years and years. So at first it was really hard to handle. But after a while, like Coach Bentley said, we try to focus on controlling the controllables, and you know, doing what you can control. And so like whenever I kind of got that mindset going, it made me work really, really hard. I have a tunnel vision for this season. I really want to get out there and make a statement this year, especially since I was undefeated in the conference last year, and then whenever I lost in the SoCon finals to Neil Richards, I really want to make a statement this year and win it all and qualify for nationals, be a high seed and All-American.
All right, we'll go next to Jeremy Barnes, App State Grind.
Hey, Thomas, you mentioned Richards. You and Richards had some battles last season. You beat him just a few weeks prior to the SoCon. Ended up losing a tough one, a pretty close one, if I recall, at the championship. What are some things that you hope to take away from that season and then extend, and what are some things you're looking to improve on for this season coming up?
So things that I will hope to extend is, so, I mean, I'm pretty confident. I gained a lot of confidence from last season. You know, I think that was a big game changer for me. It was my confidence build. So just, you know, winning some big tight matches, especially that one against Neil. I think that was a big game changer for me. And then what I hope to improve on for next season is building on my attacks, kind of getting some shots to the left and right side some more, because I kind of like got stationed in on a few attacks that I hit last season and the years before that I found myself successful. But then people started realizing my attacks and stuff like that. So I'm hoping to just build on some more attacks, more motion and stuff like that.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, we'll go next to Jason Fullmore.
Hey, Thomas. You might have already answered this, but from those of us that are sitting on the outside looking in, it looked as if last year you really made a huge jump in terms of, you know, not only getting wins, but, you know, kind of the grind and kind of feeling very comfortable with that you know, with where you were on the mat and everything else. So can you talk a little bit about kind of what, if you were to boil it down, maybe one of or a couple of things that really helped you turn the corner that you might be able to kind of give that piece of advice to, you know, maybe a teammate who's kind of getting ready to make that jump like you did last year?
Yeah. So it was, I mean, coaches would always tell me that I have all the tools that I have, that I need to be successful. Coach Bentley would tell me that every time we had a meeting, but there was just something not clicking with me that was in my own head, you know. And as soon as like I realized that I needed to, because it started in the practice room, I think found out that I needed to get something out of the practice and not just get through the practice. I would go in and I would just kind of be like, okay, let's get through this thing. There's a point A and point B. Let's just get it done, you know. Now I'm actually going in there with like a sole purpose of actually getting better and getting something out of the practice. And then just pushing myself to a higher level than what I have been in the past. You know, I would try to exhaust myself as much as I could. And then whenever I would be exhausted, I would keep trying to, like, you know, get those takedowns at the end of matches. I would try to kind of like, whenever I would break, I know that my opponents also just as tired as I am. And I know that since I've been going through those practices, whenever I am exhausted and I'm still getting those takedowns and I'm still getting through everything, that I know I can still do it in a match and it would just kind of follow through.
Thanks.
All right, I think that's all we have for you, Thomas. Appreciate it, and we'll get Cody Russell in here.
Thanks, guys.
All right, we've got Cody Russell. Moving down from 133 to 125 this year. Cody is a two-time NCAA qualifier and a SoCon champion in his career. Cody, if you just want to share some thoughts on how excited you are to get the season started, then we'll open up for questions.
Yes, sir. Very excited. Like you mentioned, I am dropping down a weight class. I actually put this polo on this morning from last year, and kind of fits me like I'm 12 years old again, putting on my dad's polos. It's really big, about down to my knees now. So definitely some big changes this year, but I'm excited to see our team. We got a bunch of young guys that look good in the preseason, and just happy to see us on Friday, finally get back out and compete.
If I also didn't introduce, Cody has a good sense of humor, so we know that about Cody. Just what are some of the main differences in going down a weight from 133 to 125?
Just a little bit of change in diet. I can't really eat McAdoo cinnamon rolls the night before weigh-ins no more, instead I have to eat bell peppers and boring stuff like that. But yeah, it's just another sacrifice that I was willing to make to reach as high as I can on the podium this year.
Those are significant sacrifices. We'll go to Jason Fullmore.
Hey, Cody. So one of the things I'm always really interested in is that you came out of Collins Hill, were an outstanding wrestler, in high school. And then like a lot of outstanding high school wrestlers, they have to make that transition to college, and that, that level of competition and everything else. You're now a senior. If you're offering that, a piece of advice to those freshmen who are kind of making the transition that you made several years ago, what would be some of the advice you would give to, say, a Francis Morrissey or some of those guys?
Listen to your coaches, buy into what they're saying. I think me and Coach Bentley butted heads a little bit my freshman year because I wanted to be flashy, shoot from the outside, and I didn't really buy into wrestling on the mat. I was really good on my feet, and that's where I thought I was going to win all the matches. But within the last few years, I've just really worked on mat wrestling, and it's really helped me. Anytime you can hold a guy down on the mat and get that riding advantage point is huge. And if you can get off the mat and get your escape every single time, I mean, it's hard to beat somebody that's like that. So just buying into your coaches and listening.
Cool. Thanks.
We'll go to Jeremy Barnes, App State Grind.
Yeah, Cody, good to chat with you again. How's the two questions? One, how's the cut coming? Are we going to see you there at fighting weight for Friday? And two, you had a pretty successful season last season. What do you hope to take from that season, and what do you hope to improve on this coming season?
The cut, first off, is going pretty well. I'm actually the smallest kid on our roster right now, so that's all right. Successful season last year. I did qualify. I like to live by Ricky Bobby's dad's words. If you're not first, you're last. So I got second in the conference. So to me, that's getting last place. Our team also didn't win conference, so we got last place. So I'll look forward to getting that trophy back in Boone. Not only the 125-pound trophy, but the team trophy.
Thank you.
Anyone else have anything for Cody? We got a good Ricky Bobby reference in. So Cody, appreciate your time. We'll get Will Formato up. All right, last but not least, we've got Will Fermato. First time starter last year, was a SoCon finalist. Tough act to follow, but I think you're up for it, Will. Can you just share a few thoughts on just how excited you are about the season to get going, then we'll open up for questions.
Yeah, I mean, I'm super excited. I know a lot of our team is. When you care about wrestling, you love wrestling the way that we do. You're always excited just to go out and compete, just to have fun with it. And I think everybody is hungry after last year, and we're just blessed that we get to have another opportunity to compete during this time when we were kind of worried we wouldn't. So at this point, we're just happy for the opportunity, and we're excited to go prove ourselves.
We'll start off with Jason Fullmore.
Hey, Will. So you had an opportunity that not a whole lot of people had during this COVID time, and that you got to actually get on the mat this past October at Senior Nationals, right? And got to wrestle some good matches. I think I watched it on Flow. How was that? You know, you hadn't been on the mat for a while, or maybe you've been on the mat in practice, but you know, not in any competition, and then you go out to, I mean, nationals, and you're competing against some of the best guys around.
Yeah, that's a great question. It was definitely strange being back on the mat for the first time after that long, and especially just being around a bunch of wrestlers like that for the first time that weren't on your team. And on top of that, the level of the wrestlers was extremely high. I mean, there was a lot of great guys, a lot of guys that are at the senior level now that I watched when I was little, and they were competing around me, and so that was a really cool experience. But I mean, it was just really fun. Me and Cody Russell had a blast doing that. I'm glad that I took the time to go out there and gain that experience. And then it's always better. I mean, our coaches always preach, and they're absolutely right. The more competition you have, the better you get. You can't just train all day and never really meet up with anyone. So it was a lot of fun, and it really boosted my wrestling. I'm feeling pretty good about it.
All right, we'll go next to Jeremy Barnes from App State Grind.
Hey, Will, one of the, in all the conversations I've had with the staff members, your name gets brought up quite often as being one of the guys they're looking forward to seeing compete this season. After coming off a great year last year, what are some things that you're looking to improve on in this season?
I would say I just want to be consistent this season. I want to just score a lot of points, get a lot of points for our team, and then, like Cody said, I mean, we got to bring the trophy back to Boone this year, and I want to be a big part of that. And I got second at conference too, and that's obviously a bitter taste. But I mean, I'm feeling great about it. I'm excited, and that's kind of the thing I'm most excited for, is to not only succeed this year individually, but I feel like our team's going to do really great this year, and we have a great culture, and I'm super excited for that.
Yeah, thank you.
Maybe just last one from me, Will. Just, you know, as seniors come and go and new people step into leadership roles, what's kind of stood out and impressed you about the way this group kind of works together and the approach they take?
I would just say as a team, we have I mean, we talk about the character of our team and stuff like that, but I mean, we really do, just in terms of how we treat each other and how we relate. I mean, we have a great, really tight team. When I first got here, we were in groups a little bit. We had a couple guys that weren't really bought in, and it kind of split up the team. But now we've kind of cleaned that up, and we have a lot of guys that are doing the right things, and we kind of stick together as a group. And then on top of that, our relationship with the coaches, I mean, it's awesome. And the amount of time they put in with us, I mean, I can't even tell you how many. I mean, Ian's been here for I don't even know how long, and he's been wrestling with me all the time. Coach Bentley's put countless hours in with me. I mean, I think it's just kind of a whole circle of how everyone treats each other with respect, and how we all have the same goals that we push towards every day.